I had a very astonishing conversation with an associate of mine. In this conversation, it was discussing the expectation of a new relationship here in America, or you could say in the common world today. And as I begin to discuss the realism of what I commonly discuss with you about having standards, having principles, and balancing out what you give as what you get. There was an average lady, an average girl, okay, who began to tell me that my expectations are unreal. She said, Morpheus, your standards are too high because most women cannot meet your standards. And I was thinking about what she said, and of course there was more conversation thereafter, because she was thinking about something totally differently. Where my mind went when she said that was that she was absolutely true as to what my standards are versus if they can meet it or not. And the reason why I agreed with her mentally is because it's something I'm going to share with you in just a few minutes. All right? So bear in mind that I'm going to share with you why I agreed with her saying that my standards are too high, that most women can't meet it. But continuing the conversation, it seems as if she herself was interested in some sort of a relationship with me. But I began to outline the many things that I knew about her that would not apply to a proper relationship. This girl was woefully out of shape. I'm physical, she's non-physical. I am a realist, and I'm not about religion. She loves her superstition religion. She don't do anything for herself. She stays at home. Okay? Meaning that's what she does for her time off. Her activities in life are at a complete minimum, whereas I'm everywhere. I'm active. I talk to people. I'm a businessman. She's shy. She's afraid. She's claustrophobic. She doesn't try to achieve the things that she wants. Not to say that being a homebody is bad. No, she wants things that she don't want, that she don't work for. She wants the benefits, but she doesn't put in any effort. Right? So of course she was checked off the list anyway. So I wasn't interested in her, nor in continuing any conversation. I stated my point, done deal. I don't waste my time. It's either you understand or you don't understand. You don't understand, I'm not going to sit here and debate and argue with you. I can do that with a child any time of day, not with a grown adult. Save that for somebody else who cares. I don't. So I sat down and I thought about something that most of you men are dealing with on a constant basis, and maybe it'll bring some understanding to some of you women. And I'm going to give you an experience of mine, and as I always do, I give you an example. So therefore, if you're arguing if you don't understand Morpheus, my backup plan is my example. Because usually it's not me. My example is based on experience in other people. I didn't generate it. It was generated. So therefore, you're arguing with nothing but your own cognitive dissonance, your own ignorance. You're arguing with your own lack of wanting or needing to understand because you don't want to learn. That's your fault. That's your personal issue. And you can save that comment for someone else. Okay, it won't even be acknowledged. So I learned something as a child. And I'm going to go ahead and give you this red pill because it's been a while since I gave it to you. Because I'm going to go ahead and give it to you. Go ahead and take this red pill. And I'm going to go ahead and take mine. Now listen up. I remember as a child when I was invited to a party. At this party, it was like a pitch-in. And during the pitch-in, I didn't know that it was a pitch-in until after I was invited to the party. And while I'm eating this plate of food, are chips, cookies, and everything else that was available, the food that was on display, I began to ask where this food came from whoever I was with at the time. And I find out that it was a pitch-in, that not one person brought the food. It was everybody who pitched in to make this event happen that I am benefiting from. And when I've learned that it was a pitch-in, I felt bad for eating this plate of food that I did not contribute to. I didn't bring anything to the party, so I felt as if I didn't deserve to eat unless I contributed. So as I got older or matured a little bit more, there were several events that have occurred that was the same measure, whereas I did what I could to contribute to the gathering or to the pitch-in. Whereas I felt more entitled to grab a plate and eat because I put something in the box, in the coffer, in the investment, in the portfolio, in the pizza, in the pie, however you want to pronounce it. I put something in, right? So I deserve to get something out of it. Now, as I am mature now and a teacher and Morpheus, and the list goes on, etc., etc., etc. Now I'm at the point where I will not even consider myself pulling off anything off the table of a pitch-in unless I have contributed. If I don't bring a bag of chips, some bread, barbecue, mashed potatoes, green beans, bowl of salad, a pizza, cake, plates. If I don't bring anything to the pitch-in, I'm not going to eat from the table. I'm very, very hard pressed. It would be, you would literally have to make the plate for me and force it in my hands in order for me to accept anything off the table, because I would definitely feel like as if I do not deserve eating from a table that I did not prepare. I didn't invest in it. I didn't put any money in. So why am I taking money out? It don't matter how kind the people are. It don't matter if, you can have your plate, go ahead. I will still feel as if I do not deserve to benefit from this table because I didn't put anything in. Why am I going to eat from the table that I didn't know? You won't find me doing that. I will starve first. I will walk away from the table. I will go find me a pack of ramen noodles and boil me some water while everybody else is eating from this wonderful picnic table, if I have to. Because I will feel like I don't deserve to eat from the table. And not only feel like, I know I don't deserve. Because it's not just a feeling, it's acknowledgement, it's honor, it's wisdom, it's loyalty, it's understanding, and it's logical. How are you going to get something out of something you didn't put nothing in? So therefore, you are the beneficiary of someone else's labor. You're a beneficiary of someone else's task, someone else's kindness, someone else's advancement or investment. Therefore, it will make me feel lesser of an individual. And also, I would think of myself as lesser of an individual to take and not give anything. Now, let's convey that to today. And as I promised, my standard, right? My expression to myself, and others in discussion is not based on a high standard. See, unlike what your common women want today, and let's talk about that for a moment as well with my standard. Okay. Usually, I don't care about what type of degrees she has. I don't care if she was born in North Carolina, Chicago, New York, Florida, or Washington, D.C. I don't give a care. It doesn't matter how much money that she make per year, because I take care of myself and a companion if I wanted to, if she was worthy enough. So I'm not concerned about what she will put in equally in the mindset of your common woman today, where the board has to be equal. It don't work like that. Or I need her to make more. Should she so happen to make more than myself or do more than myself, that will be an unexpected bonus, but it would not be an expectation of mine that I put out there on the table as to that's what I require. That will be up to life. That would be up to the universe. That would be up to whatever circumstances that she is in. I'm only concerned about the girl. As long as she's able to provide for herself and her home minor needs or whatever habits she has, that's all that matters. That she's not taking more than the unnecessary out of the coffer. Do you not understand? But however, you have too many women who are around you today who expect for you men to be the provider and to do above and beyond what she has. Whereas, check this out. I told you this before. So she can eat off of your plate and take from your coffer, but in return, not give much into the coffer or the investment. I'm going to expound on that in just a moment. I don't want to lose you. I'm not going to leave you thirsty. I got to play the pattern out here for this better teaching. So when this girl said that my standards were too high, I absolutely agreed with her as if it being too high, because the difficult standard is what I just said. Whatever you put in is what you're going to get out. I'm athletic. I'm physical. I go places. I do things. I jog. I run. I swim. I ride motorcycles. I do all sorts of things. I don't limit myself. You know that by my audios. Look at the titles of my audios. I'm everywhere. I talk about anything and everything. Okay? I don't limit myself. I am a Morpheus that expands around the universe. All right? So I'm not saying I expect her to do that. No, you're wrong. You thought I was going to say that, didn't you? I don't expect for her to be a spitting image of Morpheus. It don't work like that. All I usually expect is for her to do something. And that something is things that can be maintained in a relationship. Such as, what does it take to maintain this relationship? What am I going to benefit when I come home and this girl is living with me, if she should ever? Lord have mercy. Okay? What is it that I'm looking forward to? An attitude? Am I looking forward to me taking care of everything when I come home, as if I'm single again or without her? Am I looking forward for her to say, you can get your own beer out of the refrigerator? Or, yeah, I got some leftover food that you're going to have to warm up. I already had my plate. Or, yeah, I was going to run you some bath water, but I took a bath already and, I fell asleep. Okay? Or, I'm too busy. Yeah, I had to work tomorrow morning, so I'm going to go to sleep. And you're going to come home to a dark house. Yeah, my warm body's going to be in the bed, but that's it. And you're round one all over again, as if you are single. Okay? Am I going to come home to a house where both of us is working 24 hours, 7 days a week, and we barely have time for each other, maybe about 2 or 3 different hours where we got to do a rush hump? Okay? That is not interesting. That's not anything that's benefit. That's not putting anything in the coffer. That's not putting anything in the coffer. Or how about this? Me, I'm jogging. Where's she at? Nowhere. Jogging alone. I'm in the gym pumping iron and she's where? At her friend's house. She's spending time with her mommy and her family. And there I am at the gym pumping iron alone, once again, as if I was single. The only time she ever joins me in the gym is when when it's convenient for her. When she decides to adjust her schedule in order to do a cooperative activity. Oh, I like to golf every now and then on the weekend, and I can go out with the boys and other people, but they bring their wives every now and then and some of their friends, and my girl is nowhere to be found because she's scared of golf. She's unsure about doing things that she is not accustomed to. She'd rather stay at home and watch a Maury show or put her face in Netflix while I'm out there playing golf. And then when I get home, she want to complain about me being gone too long. Is that the type of investment that I'm talking about? Her putting that in the coffer? Then it's not worth her taking anything off my plate or benefiting from whatever I put on the table. What I put on the table is physical activity, is intelligence, is logical fluctuation and calculation. Okay? It's spiritual intellect. Spiritual, not your book indoctrination programs from Agent Smith, professors. I'm talking about instincts. I'm talking about nature that I put on the table, and sensibilities and awareness and a third eye and being conscious of the community and the idea of where America is going. But yet she's sucking on her thumb, curled up on the bed in a barely reading the Kindle or pretending to read a Kindle and have no clue as to what's going on in the country or the world. Is that the type of investment I'm talking about? Is that what I'll be looking forward to as saying that my standards are too high? Or better yet, when I explained to her that I would love for her to wear dresses and act like she's a lady. Okay, and then all she want to do in return is tell me that I'm trying to control her. I'm trying to tell her how to dress because I'm insecure, because I have low confidence, because I'm scared and afraid that other men are going to try to take her off of my hands and take her away if she should show some cleavage or body parts. And all I want her to do is be modest and sensible. All I want her to do is preserve what is supposed to be exclusive to me. How was that going to be too much of a high standard? But you know what? I agree with my friend, my associate, what she said. I guess that is a high standard. I guess that's asking for too much. I guess exclusivity is asking for too much. I guess asking for investment into the relationship is asking for too much when you have nothing but unaccountability and a false sense of entitlement in most women here in America. That when I ask for what I put in, okay, what they put in is not the same. What they put in is a misnomer. It's a, what do you call that? It's a 2020 type of deliverance. It has the potential to be on a bait and switch. It has potential to be renegotiated later on down our relationship contract. Should she feel like she needs to change the scale? Should she feel like she's uncomfortable? Should she feel like she needs to change her ideas? Should she feel differently because of her so-called friends and inspiration and inspiring women that are around her, okay, that will preach to her, talk to her, and deceive her into or out of a decent relationship? So I say particularly out of a decent relationship based on them being the negative. And as I said before, misery loves company. So they'll say, girlfriend, come on out here. You can do it. Girl's not out. He's jealous. He just don't want you to do this because he's afraid that you might, or that guy might. He just don't want you to do that because he's controlling. You need to leave him alone. Go on and find some other man. Go do what you want to do. You remember that boyfriend, that guy that's been trying to talk to you for 5 years? Maybe you should give him a chance. Your boyfriend, Morpheus would never know because, you can go ahead and hide him on one of your secret apps on your smartphone. And then there I am, 2 or 3 years with a disloyal woman, with somebody who's smiling in my face. But as soon as I go out there to play golf or go somewhere else, guess who she's calling up? She's calling up Brad from 5 years ago, or who she's been talking to for the past 5 years on her social media app. That's what I'm investing in. Are you talking about that's too much of a high standard? Or shall I say that's the standard that I'm supposed to accept, as my standard is based on exclusivity and a promise and not a promise, but a commitment to each other and work and investment in action. Be it all I get from her is feelings okay, and false promises and the ability to bait and switch. That's amazing. That is what you call amazing. You'll be surprised how many women, such as myself, Morpheus, that I come across that will have a high expectation of what she will expect from me to do, but yet she can't do that in return. She expects for my plate to look a certain way, to smell a certain way, for the food to be piping hot a certain way, to be made from a certain type of, however, be made differently, with certain type of seasoning and tailored to her taste so she can eat off of it. But in return, when I ask her to make the plate, okay, she got all sorts of strings connected to the plates and the spoons and the bowls. Whereas when I get a chance to eat it, she'll pull it. She'll change the game. She'll come out with a different dish. Or, what's worse yet, I'll go in for the chicken and it's halfway done. It's cold, it's still frozen on the inside, but the outside is brown. I go for the apples and the fruits that are on the table, but they're just glazed with plastic spray, but they're rotten on the inside. And they should say, oh, this is my quality, take it. I'm like, wait a minute. You've been donkey dunking with how many men in your past? And I'm just now finding out, what, this many years later? How come you didn't want to tell me that the first time? Oh, because I think that you wouldn't like me, and I didn't think that it mattered. To you, it don't matter because you're trying to cover up your dirty past. To me, as a man, it matters. That means you cannot peer bond with me because you've been donkey dunking too many times and you have gave away too much of your fruits and your juice to the wrong type of men, and you just want me to accept you for who you are. And I'm supposed to be happy with it? But yet what I bring to my table is something that can last you for the rest of your life. What I bring to your table is commitment. What I bring to your table is protection. What I bring to your table is being a provider, being a leader, being headstrong, being conscious, being full of instincts, being a good teacher, being a good guiding light, being somebody who you can love and invest in, being somebody who can be the father of your children and probably even the father of you. But what I get in return is some leftover garbage that I should be throwing out to the dog. And I'm supposed to be happy with this standard? This is supposed to be the American dream, the American pie, where you can take that American pie and shove it down because I'm not eating it. Where do we get off talking about low standards and high standards when there is no standard anymore? Do you understand? The standard is confused because you have too many people talking about the standard is, girlfriend, you need to work, get your career, get your job. Don't worry about a man right now. Don't depend on a man. You'll be all right without him until you're 60 years old. And now you're looking for me to take you and your dog into my house. And you smell like the dog. While you have a track record larger than I can count. And then I'm seeing all type of guys smiling at me like, oh man, you with her? Oh, I knew her. I knew her in college. Yeah, I knew her in grade school. Yeah, I knew her in middle school. All of them smiling. None of them gonna tell me that they've been with her, but I'll find out after I divorce her or break up with her. I'm supposed to be happy with this? Dude, you'll be surprised how many times this happened to my clients and my people, my men who come to me talking about, I was with this girl for 15 years. I never knew that you never knew. Because she ain't gonna let you know, because women they are the masters, okay, of hidden disguises. They are masters of bait and switch. They are masters of making you think something that's there that's not there. And clown facing you. When you are a blue pill beta simp, it's even worse because you really have no idea about the circles that the women play on you. You really have no idea what she been through and what she did before she met you. And now you in this so-called 5-6 years steady relationship where you get in an argument with her all the time. She got these so-called controlling behaviors. Okay, she want to do whatever that she want to do, meaning that she want to act like she's single while she's in a relationship with you. And as soon as you turn your back, she's talking to all kind of Chads, Brads, and Jasons. All right. And then you want to figure out why you can't find a decent woman. Because you keep fishing from the same pond and because you're not understanding about how many games that are being played on you. because you want to hope and dream, and because your so-called pastors and churches and people are telling you it's better to marry than to burn. But you're burning while you are marrying. And I've told you that in multiple audios. And I'm going to keep saying it until you understand. You're burning while you marrying. You'd be better off burning when you're not with a person than you are burning while you're with them, because now you committed to the flame. Did you hear what I said? Now you are committed to the flame and you can't get away from it. Now you living in hell. Now you got a hellish experience because you married the flame. Now you buried in the flame, and that's all you got for the rest of your life is fire and brimstone. Because you so happy simp, because you so happy blue pill, because you so happy white knight, because you so happily not having your own standards and your own foundation and your own principles. Because you're so happy going along with Agent Smith's program and system where you cuff yourself. You put your own self in dire and heat. And then there you are in child support court paying child support for 2 kids or 3 kids, or even for some of you who are really serious simps, paying alimony because you were so smart, because you didn't do the Carfax first, because you didn't have a standard, because you let all these girls tell you that your standards were too high. While they telling you that, oh, I make $1 million a year, you need to make $2 million a year. Because I made it, you supposed to make it. You're not understanding that have nothing to do with your finances and how much money that you're putting on the table. It's about how what you are putting on the table as an individual. It's about what personality you put on the table. Do you have longevity? Are you capable of peer bond? Can you love again for a long time? Do you still have youth available? Do you still have your fertility available? Should there be any child discussions that's going to be made? Are you going to be able to deal with all the hard times that life's going to throw at you? Are you going to be able to understand each other, even if you don't want to understand other person? Are you going to be able to learn how to forgive like you are supposed to forgive when you're with somebody who you so-called love? Are you going to be able to be 100% honest with the person that you are laying next to? Or are you going to be sneaky and conniving and need to hide stuff under the pillow, underneath your covers, underneath the mattress in your office, okay, in the closet or in your garage from this person that you're supposed to so-called love that you laying next to? So that you actually laying next to an enemy that you're supposed to be in love with, but they're actually your frenemy because you want them to be that way because you can't be honest. Can you be able to get rid of all that while you putting that on the table? Okay, whatever you put on the table has to be something that's going to be transpired to something that's going to that's going to actually evolve to something of an advancement for your relationship. That's going to take y'all to the next level of consistency, whereas it's going to be 18, 20, 30-year marriage, whereas y'all can see each other to be old people with your grandchildren. But we barely can even see that. Y'all barely can even make it that way after having the first child. You know how many mothers today in America that has had their first child and they're not with their baby father of their first child? Do you know how many there are? There are a lot of baby mothers out there where the first child, okay, the father of the first child is not there. The fathers that are usually there, they're the second father of the second child. Are they just somebody who's a stand-in person or a stand-in father? You'll say, what happened to the first father? What happened to them? Because there's a thing that some of you don't understand. It's called chemical imbalance. And that is what the threshold is at the end of the day. Whenever you meet certain women, okay, who have no self-control, especially as a little girl, okay, they're taught to take everything and give nothing. They're taught to eat off the plates, never to invest anything. They're taught, oh girl, go get your own stuff, man. Go ahead and do your own thing. Go get a career. Go to college. Go be the best that you can ever be. Don't worry about the plate. Don't even worry about the table. Just worry about yourself. Don't even think about contributing. Then all of a sudden she comes back to the party. There's nothing there. Nobody invested anything on this party plate, okay, or contributed to the plate of marriage or possible relationship or possible future because she was too busy headlong in career. And all of a sudden she expects for you to all of a sudden abracadabra poof and make something appear on the table that she's not even prepared for or that she haven't even put her mind into because she was so headlong and headstrong in her college career because she thought her college career was going to provide her with everything on the table. It didn't do nothing but provide her with a placebo. a false sense of reality and a dream that never came true. Because the dream was never true. It's a dream. That's why it's not true. Hello, did you get that? A dream is a dream because it's not true. So it can't come true. Only thing you can face is reality and make it simulate what you think your dream is. That's the only way that you can move forward. But unfortunately, they don't realize that. And unfortunately, it only gets worse for some of you blue pill beta scent men, because you don't understand that the average woman is chemistry at the end of the day. She's still developing, and there's a chance where it's going to be 50-50. You playing Russian roulette with yourself, because what happens is, if she's already chemically unbalanced before she has a child, when she has a baby, her chemical imbalance is destructive by that time. You have the worst years. Listen carefully, because I know this. I've talked to mothers at this in this situation. Okay, and I have advised many other type of men in this situation as well, where the hurricane hit them. Okay, and they was on the brink of jumping off of the highest building because this happened to them. You end up having a child with this girl who you thought was classy and okay, and what ended up happening is, after you get her pregnant, the chemicals start going off the charts, and now you have this child which is 1 year old. Y'all arguing, y'all bitter, y'all can't get along with each other. Now the child turns 2 years old with the teething years. Okay, 2-year blues. I know about that. The 2-year-olds, it just cause hell in your life. She's a little hellion at that time, or he is. And now you're trying to struggle with the relationship, because you need to understand, men, that her loyalties is no longer to you. It's to that child. And with that child comes her emotional imbalance. And it happens so often to where you have yourself being booted out of the relationship, whereas she becomes the sole guardian, the primary guardian of your baby. You're paying child support, and you're not with that child because you don't understand what happened, because you don't understand chemistry, nor do you understand science, nor are you getting the proper information by proper leaders, by your mothers, by your fathers, and by your uncles. They're not telling you this stuff. They're telling you, go ahead and go along with it. You can do it. Go ahead. And you go ahead and you do this. And you think that getting her pregnant is going to change your relationship, and you do it. Okay. And she put the book stump on you. And now you're looking stupid, because you don't understand anything, and because it's not generally your fault, because the people that have come before you, they're not teaching you like Morpheus is. They sitting back in their office sucking their thumbs or a banana. Okay, they're walking around watching Netflix on their smartphones and their televisions. Okay, and they're sitting at home watching ESPN, getting mind washed on the idiot box. Okay, they're not interested in teaching you and helping you to have a brighter future. They rather allow the rat wheel to keep spinning and let the snowball go down the hill and explode on itself. Do you understand? So therefore, you don't get the proper information of understanding it. So you got to understand. I told you, it's easy to understand the woman nowadays. She's not a mystery anymore. Okay, she is an embodiment of chemical and science, and her fluctuations can go off the charts at any minute. And it's even worse. I told you, it's even worse when she's not raised up properly. Okay, with emotions and other bitter, lost women. Okay, who's not seeking for her to have success. They want to recreate the rat wheel by trying to tell you, or shall I say the daughter or the son, okay, to do the total opposite of what she did when she was younger. Okay, with bad example, but ends up turning out to be a catastrophe, because oftentimes she can't get her life right all of a sudden, because it's a done deal for her. She already did her measure. The father figure's already gone. Okay, she already had her donkey dunking days, and now all of a sudden she want to hit wisdom because her chemistry then gave her a different twist. Where her chemistry colors was once blue before she got pregnant, now it's yellow. Now all of a sudden she got a different perception of life and a different philosophy. That's why sometimes you may hear grandmothers say, and they tell you the truth. Grandmothers are telling you the truth when they tell you that their daughter used to be off the charts, wild and crazy before she had her child, and now she's settling down, and now she wants to be serious, and now she wants to focus on providing for the child. That grandmother is telling you the truth. And also what she's telling you, what you don't understand, men who don't understand science or keep your heads in the book like you're supposed to, is that the child was the only thing to slow her down. The child was the only thing that balanced out her unbalanced chemistry. So now she gets a little bit of smarts. Now she gets a little bit of logic, because now she has a responsibility. Now she sees what it feels like to really love someone and to provide for them and to protect for them and to look out for the future for them. Now she has to make 5 steps ahead of time, or to play chess, because she has this child's life on the line. That is the only thing that brought logic into her life. And you come in there and think that you're going to change something. The only thing that you're going to change is your perspectives, and you're going to be changing your life, because what ends up happening is that you're going to be forced to be used as some sort of either financial stability, some sort of woman-made standard to blend into her life, because what she's looking for is something that's going to be provided for her child, not for you. Because your days of being with her, as her chemistry was blue at the time before she has a child, is done deal now. Now that she has a child, she's yellow now. Now she's thinking about what's best for her child. Now she's thinking about the future for her child. She's thinking about the child's safety. She's thinking about how you are going to get along with her child or children. So whatever you do when you come into her life is going to be either or. That means either you're going to be the midnight stalker, meaning that she only wants you for donkey dunking on the convenient days and times. And when you decide to take her out on a Sunday or Saturday night, when she's bored and she ain't got nothing to do and Netflix ain't playing, is not playing anything that's interesting, then she's going to be seeking for you. Or you're going to be that permanent blue pill beta guy who's going to transform her chemistry from yellow to green, meaning you're going to be supplying for her and her child. You're going to be providing for herself and for her child's habits as well, because you decide to be a part of her frequency and a part of her program. You understand? So therefore you end up struggling during the time, because she's not that promiscuous, funny, back-loving and donkey dunking fun type of girl she used to be when she was blue chemistry before she got a child. Now she's different now. Now nature have gave her wisdom. It's nature that gave her intelligence. It's nature that have transformed her mind, not logic, not wisdom of instincts and awareness. Not because she grew up and she matured. No, it's because nature slowed her down by making her, by giving her seed, okay, and allowing her to conceive the seed as a child. Now that I'm done preaching, I don't have the choir in the background, and maybe I should have put a little a pizzazz in my speech. Maybe I should have, watch out, and all these ladies, you better be prepared. Maybe I should have did that. It would have been more believable for some of you who don't understand. Okay, but let me give you another understanding. My channel is not all about men. Okay, this is not specifically a MGTOW channel. I talk about several things. And of course, like you know, I do not limit myself. My subjects are about spirituality, health, pretty much everything that you can imagine that's important to the average person. But the reason why I've been talking about this for the past few days, and if you see it pop up on one of my audios, is because men have been, let's just be blunt. I'm going to be forward and straight with you, my Neos of America. Men have been committing suicide over this. Men have been locked up in prison over this. Men have lost self-control over this. Okay? Men have dug a hole for women over this. Okay? Men have flipped over backwards over this. Men have been disenfranchised over this. Men have been losing their life positions over this, and men have been unsteady for many generations thereafter and around America because of their misunderstanding of the opposite sex, of the woman, of the disadvantage that he is in, and of because the construct of the liberated woman today, the current modern women today, who is outside of the line of where she used to be. So he doesn't understand how the things are operating today at his disadvantage. So because of that, he ends up losing his life. And as you know me as Morpheus, I told you this before, and I'm going to tell you again, I am against anybody losing their life. I hate it when I hear about somebody committing suicide or somebody being hurt over something stupid. I am against life being lost. I am against negativity, and I'm against people being hurt. Okay? This is not how I operate. So when I hear about this, I need to get to the root of it like a doctor and heal this situation fast, because I want it to stop. And the only way to do that, I'm going to tell you right now. And salvation, your idea of salvation being the Holy Ghost, okay, go ahead and shove that. Shove it where the sun don't shine. I'm going to tell you why. Salvation is not a Holy Ghost. Salvation is knowledge. Salvation is knowledge. That's what your salvation is. It wasn't the Holy Ghost that have called these situations to happen. It's not the Holy Ghost that caused men to commit suicide over this. It wasn't the Holy Ghost that caused men to get married to women and be disenfranchised in the end and being divorce raped or robbed. Okay, it wasn't the Holy Ghost that did that. It was the lack of knowledge. It wasn't the lack of the Holy Ghost that caused them to end up in a broken marriage 15, 16 years later, or end up with this girl who had more bicycle trips than himself and the entire neighborhood. Okay, it was the lack of knowledge that have put him under. Do not understand. So I am all about that. Now, getting to the third gear of this conversation. This time I'm not going to preach to you. I'm going to try to talk to you where you can pretty much understand me. Okay. Now listen, this is where the rubber meets the road as to why you see the topic there called false reality. When all is said and done, okay, which most women have children anyway, so they already passed the phase of being blue, right? She was 120 pounds. Her chemical balance was blue before she got into a relationship. That's when she was doing a lot of donkey dunking, partying, let's have beer nights, girls night out, and all that old sick stuff they do, okay? And they already passed the phase of being their chemical transforming into yellow after having a child, taking care of the child, saying the child is everything. Now, you must be advised as an advisor. I will tell you nothing but the truth, that just because she has a child doesn't mean she's been slowed down. Okay, because oftentimes her yellow chemistry after having the child, oftentimes it flashes back to yellow for many of them because they want to go back to girls' night out. They want to still do a lot of donkey dunking. They still want to have fun. Their priority of the child is not going to be there 100%. Most of them, they're going to send their child to their grandma's house. Hello. They're going to send their child to a babysitter, whoever it is, maybe their neighborhood friend, associate, whatever else. Okay. And they're still going to pretend as if they have no child responsibilities. Okay. They're still going to try to go out drinking and whining and try to find them another beta blue pill, a simp to be targeted and hunted down to be her next prey. Okay. So therefore, they'll still transform to blue. So just because they have a child doesn't mean it's going to slow them down. But for some of them, they do. Some of them do turn into this yellow energy type of girl where her chemistry is yellow. And now she's just concentrating on the child. Her party days are over. Okay, she done enough donkey dunking. She's just looking for a very serious relationship with somebody who's going to pick up the slack. Somebody who's going to heal the torrential storm after Hurricane Katrina tore up everything. Okay, she was Hurricane Katrina where her chemistry was blue. And when she had the child at the age 1 and 2 with that baby daddy, kicked them out of the door for whatever reason it might be. They didn't get along with each other. They wasn't prepared, obviously. They didn't do their research, obviously. They didn't concentrate on what needed to be done to stay together, obviously. So therefore, the blue pill simp comes to clean up. He's the Red Cross. He's the town construction people who have to clean up Hurricane Katrina's mistake. Okay, now she's looking for you. So what happens is now she's in the green phase. See, she's green now because she still has a child to take care of, and now she wants that new relationship. So blue and yellow makes what? Green. Now her chemistry is green now. Okay, now she's in a phase where she's committed to the child and she's committed to you, but she can't serve two masters at one time. Oftentimes it's confusing. Sometimes she'll still use that child as a weapon. Sometimes she will use that child as an excuse not to call you or to spend time with you. Sometimes she'll say, well, my child is more important, and we'll go out next week and blah 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 blah. Okay, so now you're struggling. Or if that child is older, which is the worst case scenario, if there's a 16 and 17-year-old child involved, and she has an 8-year-old child or a 9-year-old child. Okay, oftentimes you're going to have an even bigger struggle because now she's really concentrated on the child, or that 19, or so I say the 17-year-old child is going to be in the middle. She's going to be at conflict. Okay, she's going to be pulling that mother or mother figure in a different direction. All right, so now you're struggling now because all you want to do is spend time with this lady, but you not understand that you are there after the party's over. The party's already over. But here comes a shebang, and I'm not going to go into the details with that because some of you already understand it. Okay? Oftentimes, this lady is not able to find her another man. In her excuse, she'll say, I can't find a good man. Stop the flag right there. Stop the train right there. Let's stop this roller coaster ride. The Ferris wheel must stop right here. Let's push an emergency stop. Your elevator, hit that emergency button right there. Stop. I can't find me a good man. Now, if you don't understand what I mean by that, okay, go to my audio, and it's titled, I Want to Find a Good Man. Okay, if you want to know the details of what I'm saying in this one, I'm referring you to that one. But I'm going to give you a little bit about it here as well. Finding a good man doesn't mean she needs to find a good man. That's the man's logical sense. When men talk, listen. When men talk forward. That means men are straightforward. That means they mean what they say what they mean. That means if the sun is shining, they're going to say the sun is shining. If it's raining, men are going to say it's raining, and there's not going to be anything hidden in between. Okay? Oh man, this girl's sexy. Then the girl is sexy. Period. Whether it's your opinion or his opinion. All right, it's straightforward, no insinuation, no games. With women, when they say something straightforward, it's going to be crooked. It's going to have a different definition, men. It's going to mean something else, and you're going to have to read in between the line. What she say isn't exactly what she say. That's why older men in the old days, and they didn't mean it that way, we just misunderstood it. Men used to say in the old days, well, if a woman say no, it really means yes. That means she really likes you because she's saying no, man. You can do this, man. She's giving you the signs. You like, but she said no. But no, she's saying no for right now. She's saying no because she's playing hard to get. The reason why they said it that way, they weren't saying that if she say no, that what if it has something to do with donkey dunking or sexual encounter, okay, that you need to keep going. No, that's not what they were saying. They were basically trying to say, which they couldn't say it because they didn't have the knowledge nor the dignity to do it properly, apparently, given the outcome of this generation. Oh, God. Anyway, they were saying that you cannot trust what a woman say, that it always means something different and it's for the moment. That means it changes. That means, yeah, she's saying no right now, but it's going to be yes next week. Okay. She's saying maybe, but that actually means yes. Okay, she's just unsure because she's dealing with another chemical or emotion right now. Okay, that's all it means. Okay, and then you'll find that out by marrying them for 20 years, and then your life is a hurricane because you're confused. Because her yes is no, her no is yes, her maybe is actually yes, and she don't know where she's going. She's running in circles, and you're with her on a permanent basis. Okay, however, getting back to the now of what I was discussing, they will say, I want a good man. When she say, I want a good man, that means she's looking for a beta simp that's going to mold into her program. Yes, I know some of you women don't like what I'm saying, but too bad. And even if you don't agree with it, okay, I've been around you. I teach you. Okay, I'm a physical trainer. Okay, a lot of you come and try to holler at me. A lot of you is, oh, Morpheus. Oh, you look good. Oh, you this and that. And I'm like, okay, what's up? And then it's the same scenario. I want a good man. And you break it down. I'm like, that's what you mean. Okay. Most times a woman is not going to try to vet out another woman because they love their hidden information and they like holding each other's secrets. So they're not going to tell each other. They're not going to say that the other girl is wrong. Okay. Because that means it's a bad reflection on them should they need that same lady to hide her secrets. Anyway, so the truth is, when she say, I want a good man, that means she needs you to mold into her American dream. She needs you to mold into her new sense of liberation. She needs you men to go with the program. That's why you become the beta blue pill simp. That's why you become the white knight, and that's why you are disenfranchised, because now you're playing on her game field. You underneath her power, and she can control you, especially with the newfound ideology here in your country. Congratulations, you won, because you're laying next to something that's capable of cutting your head off and calling it a day. Smart guy you are, and you lucky. But however, okay, when they are not able to find this unlucky gentleman to be with them, oftentimes they settle. And how do they settle? They settle for guys who are just going to come in the door and leave. That's it. They settle for, they remain yellow, for one, because they'll say, in their excuse and defense, they'll say, well, I'm just taking care of my kids. I got my children to take care of. I'm going to school. I'm going to college, or I'm going to work. I got my career and kids to take care of. I'm just too busy for a relationship. All the while, donkey dunk is happening late at night. Okay, it's happening when you don't know what's happening. Okay, it's happening in the back alleys somewhere, and it's just not noticed. Okay, because she don't want it to be noticed, because she wants her cake and eat it too. So she's going to remain as this single mother or our mother and pretend to be this yellow chemistry. Oh, I'm all about my kids, and I'm working in my kids. I'm working in my kids. That's all I do. And you think she's an angel and everything's fine. Okay, but go through her phone contacts come the weekend or the summertime or when it's time to let loose. Okay, there's all kind of Brads, Chads, Jasons, and all kind of people who will pop up from nowhere, but they've been there the whole time. You just didn't know about them. So they keep those people on the side. They keep those type of men on the side to give them that, I can't think, Marvin Gaye. I think it was Marvin Gaye. Could have been another artist. But Marvin Gaye sung a song called Sexual Healing. Could have been them or somebody else, but there was a song called Sexual Healing. Sexual healing, sexual. So she's going to get that anyway. She's going to want it. She's going to want that. If she's any type of woman, she's going to want that. Any type of woman's going to want that anyway. Donkey dunking. Okay, it don't matter. You know, she's going to find it one way or the other. Beta blue pill simp or some desperate retard somewhere on earth. Okay, there's plenty of them. All right. And so she continues down her path. But what will happen is nature comes in line, where now her chemistry changed to purple. Now your ears are open. Okay, Morpheus, what's purple? What are you talking about, dude? Oh, I can hear you girls now. What do you mean purple? What's going on here? Yellow? I mean, orange? I mean, we blue, yellow, green, purple? What's going on? No, listen. This is how I teach. If you don't like it, find somebody else. This is the class for men who are trying to evolve themselves. This is the class for people who are trying to understand their own species type. This is the class for those who are trying to prepare themselves for a future that they have no choice but to deal with, because this is your newfound lady today. And if you're trying to get married, or you're trying to be this blue pill white knight simp because you love this girl because she got bright eyes and she's cute and she got two children sitting there, you need to know what you're going to get yourself into. Should you decide to sign up to it, it's going to be your responsibility from here on out. Okay. And the judge is going to put the mallet down, and it's your fault from there on. Don't start crying. Okay. When you're broke, poor, and stupid. Now, what will end up happening is this girl will have an expectation for you men to say, I need for this blue pill simp to have, and I expect for him to, and here comes her standards. Okay, so listen, now we're coming to the table. Here we go. Now you coming to Morpheus's table. Here comes the teaching. Now let's go back to the chalkboard. Remember I told you about that plate on the table and standards and principles? About do not take from the table if you have not invested in it. Okay, now you come to the table, and now she's coming to the table, and she'll say, this is what I have left. She got her 2 children there. Okay, her chemistry is blinking to purple because she's looking for a relationship now. That's her chemistry changing. Okay, she was once yellow and transformed green because she wanted to be with some blue pill simp. Okay, it didn't work out. Now she wants to get serious. Now she's purple. And you come into the plate with what, gentlemen? What are you coming to the table with? What is she saying that she wants from you? Look at the news. Wait. Look at the news. Look at social media. Listen to these women around your country. Listen to what they're saying. Look at what other red pill providers are telling you that women are looking for. You got to be a certain height. You got to have a certain amount of money. You got to have a certain type of job. You got to look a certain way. You got to have this certain status. You got to have certain this credit. She's looking for all this from you to put on the plate. Why is she looking for this to put on the plate? Huh? Why? But what is she going to put on the plate? Her 2 children, her so-called career and commitment to her bosses, not to you. Okay, and her leftover energy that she might have and her lack of peer bonding because she's been flip-flapping since she was 16 years old. Because what will end up happening is Tom Leykis can tell you this. Other red pill content providers can tell you this. Okay, other married men for 30 years can tell you this, men, that after you get with that purple chemistry girl and she's with you now, okay, give her about 2 or 3 years, she's going to flip on you. And then she's going to say, I'm tired. I don't really like donkey dunking all that much. And I don't want to do those things like I used to do. And no, I don't want to go out. My fun days are gone and whatever else. Excuse. Just give me a wine cooler and I'm okay to be at home in front of Netflix. And you are satisfied with her because you're thinking she used to be a good woman, or she is a good woman, but all you getting is the leftover cookies and the only thing that's available on her plate. While you are supposed to bring all sorts of protection, finances, availability, popularity, whatever you bring to the table, she is expecting for you to have so she can eat from your table and find herself in a retirement plan. That's right, from you, because you blue pill beta decided to agree on the measure on this table. Okay, whereas you put everything in, all she did was put a little bit in because she gave the rest of it away. When all the while, and I'm gonna get to that in a moment, I'm getting ready to get ahead of myself, all the while. Let me write that down so I don't forget. That's important. Okay. The next stage of this, okay, when I say all the while, that's going to be the key word. The next stage, okay, is the other half of some women who don't care that you're not financially wealthy. Don't care what you have. Don't care who you are to your, to the degree of saying that if you're popular or not. Okay, they just want you to come around and just love them because they're looking for a proper romance now. And finally, these are the men that you're going to have to watch out for. She wants you for who you are finally because her bargaining have stopped working over the years. She's been bargaining for quite some time. She's been playing that I am a strong American woman for such a long time. I can do this all by myself. I'm independent, career driven, and I need this man to come into my life and to provide for me. But since she's been giving all her cookies away and playing games and late night parties and hanging out with her girlfriends and trips to Chicago and back and forth and again, donkey dunking anytime that she want to, now that she realized that she wasn't getting anything out of it, but just general men who just wanted to usually spend that party with her, okay, she have no choice but to settle down now. And usually this happens. It doesn't happen when she's 25. It doesn't happen when she's 32. It happens when she's 42 and 52. When she's 42 and 52, now she's finally saying, well, man, I'm going to meet you at the table, and I just want you to come to the table with what you have. And I'm not going to give you any expectations or high hope, but I am going to try to provide whatever I have left for you. I'm going to try finally now to cook for you. Now you can depend on me to help you clean the house or whatever else you need me to do. You can depend on me to be a support for you. Maybe, I'll hold the coat hangers and put the shoes where they need to be at and, rearrange the papers if you need me to rearrange the papers. Now she's the submissive type of girl. Now she's the compliant wife that she should have been the first time. Now she's the type of girl who can probably make a balanced home finally after realizing that her game failed, after realizing that feminism lied to her, after realizing that her so-called high expectations didn't work. Now finally she realized she needs to just be comfortable and settled with what she should have been decent with the first time, which is the man's personality and just for him being himself. Okay, So therefore, she ends up wanting to settle with you. Okay, that's why you have to be aware of that. All the while, here it comes. All the while, from generation after generation, with severe, sheer evidence and obvious signs, obvious physical evidence that you can experience around the country from the year 1930 to beyond year 2020, you have been able to see what the woman have brought to the plate and what she have been taking from the plate. From the plate where she want you men to invest, but what does she invest? She want you to prepare the plate so she can eat from the plate. She wants you to polish the plate. She wants you to lace the plate with gold lacing. She wants you to design the table. She wants you to make the napkins. She wants you to make the curtain that goes on to the table that you dress the table with. She wants you to slide the chairs underneath the table. She wants you to prepare the entire room where the table is going to be in. She wants you to freshly hunt down the meat or whatever. She wants you to hunt down the meat. Okay, she wants you to prepare it. She wants you to make the machines to put in the shop. Okay, she wants you to suffer, get your fingers cut and bleed and all type of etc. stuff to build the machines in order to get the other items of food there on the table. Okay, she wants you to till the weed and she wants you to sow the seed. She wants you out there in the farmland working from night to day, from sun up to sundown, okay, for the fruits, vegetables, the yams and the potatoes and everything else you put on the table. She wants you to do all that, all of it. And you've been doing that for decades, after year, since the beginning of time, since the beginning of mankind. Okay. But in this measure, we're talking about 1930 and up. But anyway, she wants you to do all that. Okay. All so she can take her grubby, big, sausage fingers, okay, and pull from your plate. All the while you're asking yourself, what have she put on the plate? You can say, oh, very little, but she's taken more from the plate than what she have put in. If that weren't true, I would not have made this audio. If that wasn't true, you yourself would not have any type of argument as far as your woman's concerned. But I'm pretty much sure that you understand somewhere along the line what I'm saying is particularly facts that you cannot dispute and you cannot avoid, because you don't even have to listen to Morpheus, Leon C, aka Morpheus. All you have to do is look at your history. Look at your society today. Look at the children that were born up from single mother families or broken homes, and where did it come from? Where did the root come from? Look at the liberation that's going on in your country. Look at how many divorce rates that you are dealing with here in America. Look at how many people and men all around the country who's not interested in any stable relationship, because they know as soon as he gets the opportunity, okay, and he turns his back, she's going to take that opportunity and make it a disadvantage to fleece him, or to stab him in the back, or to be dishonorable, or to march down the street with the feminists, okay, and to try to disenfranchise him being the provider since 1930 and so forth, to put the plates, the money, the proceeds, the quality, the gold and the gems and the diamond ring. Let's not forget the diamond ring on the dinner table. And what is she putting on there? And then we get a discussion about value. We get a discussion about having high standards and low standards. Whose standards is unreal? Whose standard is in the dreamland, in Disneyland? Okay, whose standard is actual and non-actual in this particular situation? Who's asking for more than what they can give? Who's putting more into the coffer and who's taking more out? That should answer all of your questions. If you don't understand what I just described, if you don't understand how powerful this audio is, if your mind and your eyes aren't open, then you're not prepared for a future. You don't understand what's going on in your country today. You don't understand the definition of marriage. You don't understand the real war that's going on between man and woman. You don't understand what it means to bring something in, okay, and then try to get something out. Now, if you put something in, that's a different story. Whatever you put in, get something out. You deserve to take something from the plate because you put something on it. You cooked the food, you slaved over the stove, okay, you put the seasoning on the food, then yeah, you deserve a plate. You helped him build his finances. You helped him build his success. You was there with him 24 hours, 7 days a week. You licked the envelopes. I can understand. You sharpened his sticks and his wood to put out there. You fueled his John Deere tractor. I understand. You put his shoes and his shirt on. You made sure that his tub water was warm when he comes home. Okay, you kept the lights on when he came home. You was there waiting at the door for him when he came home at a 9-to-5 job. I can understand. Then, yeah, you may deserve to get something off the plate. But if you ain't putting nothing in the coffer, you ain't doing what you need to do or can do as a feminine woman, then you have no place at the table. You have no place at the table. If you're not putting anything in, you don't have a right or an obligation or a passage of right to take anything off the table. That's the end of this discussion. This is Leon C., aka Morpheus. This red pill is going to smash and crack the ground. If you don't like it, get out of town.